Operator logic. This is the part of janitorial maintenance that usually never makes it into the numbers. In March 2020, an old spreadsheet from a commercial janitorial crew quietly revealed a maintenance blind spot so common owners miss it every day. The crews were tracking repairs completed, but not tracking downtime hours. And that one missing column doesn't just mess up reporting, it doubles your cost. Once in repair invoices, and again in labor downtime that nobody ever bills. Let's walk through what that spreadsheet actually showed, how commercial janitorial operations run, why this happens, and the exact column you need to stop paying twice. Here's the March 2020 sheet. Bright, simple fields, job identifiers, equipment names, and notes. And then you notice the mismatch. Repairs are counted, work orders are marked done, but there's no column that forces a crew to quantify how long the equipment sat unusable. The spreadsheet has a maintenance repair section, date, issue description, and whether service was performed. It also has a crew route log side, but the missing piece is the one that connects equipment failures to cash, time lost. Commercial janitorial doesn't look like a single facility with one maintenance tech. It's routes, multiple sites, recurring visits, shared trucks, shared floor machines, shared wet dry vacs, pressure washers, buffers, and sometimes pumps. Scheduling is tight. Crew members are timed to complete tasks at each stop, so when equipment breaks mid-route, it doesn't just cause an inconvenience, it breaks the sequence. A buffer dies and suddenly you're waiting for a spare or swapping attachments. A pump fails and suddenly a job gets delayed or pushed to next visit. Now watch what the spreadsheet logs and what it avoids logging. In the March 2020 sheet, maintenance fields exist. Equipment type, issue notes, who handled the repair, and repair completion date. You can see categories like floor machine, vacuum, pressure wash system, and related components. But presence isn't the same as tracking. The sheet doesn't ask a crew to record downtime minutes. It doesn't ask at the time of breakdown how long the equipment was out of service. It doesn't separate work performed from work lost. So the spreadsheet can show maintenance activity without ever revealing the real cost driver, hours your crew is paid but not producing billable results. Here's the blind spot in plain language. Crews often log work done, repairs completed, parts replaced, service calls performed. What they do not log consistently is time lost attributable to equipment downtime, and if downtime isn't tied to a job stop, it disappears into general schedule slippage. So the crew might write, vacuum serviced with a date and move on, but they never record, vacuum was down for 1 hour 40 minutes between stop 3 and stop 4, which means labor downtime is never measured. That's exactly what the missing column cost them. Let's translate it to cash flow. On a whiteboard, you write one simple equation. Downtime hours times billable labor rate equals hidden labor cost. Hidden labor cost plus repair cost equals real maintenance spend. If you only track repairs, you undercount by the portion that shows up as paid time, overtime, route exceptions, and delayed production. Now, what does the spreadsheet imply about March 2020? In that month, repair counts looked normal. Invoices were documented. The maintenance notes showed issues being handled. But route logs showed more exception handling than usual, meaning stops were late, tasks were rescheduled, and equipment swaps were happening. The spreadsheet never converted those symptoms into hours lost. No downtime column equals no measurable downtime cost. That's how the cash leak stays quiet. Let's use one equipment category so it's concrete. Take floor machines, buffers, and polishers. In March 2020, the maintenance section shows a cluster of service notes for a floor machine, belt, brush, and motor-related issues across the weeks. The repair entries appear spaced out like normal maintenance, but the route schedule indicates at least 2 weeks where crews frequently carried substitutes or changed the order of jobs. In a properly tracking system, you'd see a spike in downtime minutes. Instead, you only see repair activity, so invoices look business as usual, while labor production quietly drops. That's why this blind spot matters. The spreadsheet can be accurate about repairs and still be useless about cost. When you buy a janitorial route-based business, this gets worse. Historical maintenance data is often sanitized. What shows up is receipts and service confirmations. What doesn't show up is the operational truth: equipment downtime, job disruption, and labor inefficiency. In other words, the seller can hand you a spreadsheet full of maintenance entries and still hide the part that determines margin. You don't just need the repair log, you need the reconciliation between maintenance events and route performance. Otherwise, you're buying a business that looks healthy on paper, while burning cash in the field. So here's the operator system you implement starting this week. Create one new maintenance column, exactly named equipment downtime minutes. Definition: the total number of minutes the equipment was unavailable for service due to a breakdown, swap, or waiting for repair during an active route period. And pair it with 3 fields you log every time: cause code, assigned job stop, and repair completion date. Cause code can be simple: mechanical failure, power issue, worn parts, accessory problem, or unknown. Assigned job stop is non-negotiable. If you can't link downtime to a stop, it's not trackable. Then add controls. First, a 15-minute daily check. Not an HR meeting, just a quick confirmation: which assets were down today, how many minutes, and which stops were impacted. A monthly reconciliation between maintenance logs and route exception reports. Missed stops, late arrivals, reschedules, customer delayed, and internal swap notes. If your downtime minutes don't explain the exception minutes, your logs are still incomplete. Because your real question isn't how often did we repair things. Your question is, how much paid time did we lose because equipment didn't work? Here's the blunt checklist. If you can't produce a maintenance reconciliation in 30 minutes, maintenance downtime totals linked to impacted stops with a total hidden labor cost estimate, you don't actually know your true labor cost. Repairs are visible, downtime isn't. And if you're not tracking equipment downtime minutes, you're paying twice. Once in repairs and again in labor downtime. If you want, reply with what equipment your crews run most: vacuums, floor machines, pressure washing, or pumps, and I'll suggest a simple downtime cause code set that fits your route style.